Hey everyone, it's Riley here from Pickle Madness, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Hyperbeat 1 by Beatnik. So this paddle is positioned as a value option. It's coming in around $129, but you can just get it for $99 with code MADNESS at beatniksports.com. Now aesthetically, the Hyperbeat 1 is a good looking paddle. I think the design is very vibrant, it's not overly flashy, and it features a raw carbon fiber surface, which contrasts nicely with the bright colors that it has. Personally, I love these colors. Now let's get to the stats. So the face is a T700 raw carbon fiber, it's 8 ounces, and the grip is going to be 4.25 inches. The handle length is going to be 5.12 inches, and the paddle length is 16.33. The width is going to be 7.67. The core thickness is going to be 16 millimeters. The twist weight is 6.3, and the swing weight is 113. Now let's get into the performance. Let's talk about power. This is definitely not a power paddle. It's not as soft as something like the Selkirk Luxe. The power will be mostly suitable for players of any type, but it's not going to generate massive drives. Considering this is a thermoformed paddle, I'd place the Hyperbeat 1 towards the bottom of the power rankings for the Gen 2 paddles. The power level of this paddle is very reasonable for beginners and early intermediate players, as they are less likely to hit the ball out or accidentally pop the ball up. Now, let's get into control. Control is for sure the Hyperbeat 1's strong suit. Since the ball is not rocketing off the paddle face, you do have more time to shape the direction and spin of your shot. It handles dinks and resets reasonably well, providing a predictable response. Now overall, I would say this paddle is a all court with a lean towards control. For a paddle price under $100, I think it's one of the best out there for control in that budget category. Now, let's get into pop. The pop is probably the Hyperbeat 1's weakest point, but it makes up for it with its lower swing weight, which does average at about 113. The ball doesn't launch off the paddle very fast, but this means it is easier to hit resets and drop shots. Especially for beginners, this is a good thing since this is one of the hardest things to learn when you're first starting out. Now let's talk about spin. The spin generation is pretty moderate. You can get some spin on the ball, but it's not going to be its defining characteristic. It's sufficient for most players and will get the job done majority of the time, but since this paddle is not super powerful, you won't need crazy spin in order to keep the ball in the court. Now let's get into maneuverability. This paddle is easy to maneuver thanks to its lower swing weight. The actual weight of the Hyperbeat 1 on average is 8 ounces, but in the hand it feels like 7.8 ounces. This lower swing weight allows for quick reactions at the net. And for forgiveness, the sweet spot is reasonably generous. You can definitely tell that there is foam around the perimeter of the paddle. The forgiveness of the Hyperbeat 1 is one of its stronger aspects and probably one of the best paddles in the under $100 price range. So overall, the Hyperbeat 1 is a solid control all-court paddle. It doesn't excel in any one area when compared to the paddle market as a whole, but I think in this case, it is important to remember and focus on the budget category. For the budget category of paddles under 100, it is certainly a contender for the top spot. I will be doing a video later on ranking the top paddles under $100, and the Hyperbeat 1 will definitely be included. For $99, this paddle is a great option for players looking to upgrade from cheap Amazon paddles, or for players who want a decent paddle at a great price that will perform. Now the key question is value. At $99 with code MADNESS, it is in a competitive price range, but I think on my experience with this paddle, it is well worth the price. As always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.